From 2000, Black British identity continued to become embedded in British society. Paul Boateng, MP, became the first Black cabinet minister in a UK government in 2002. Other Black ministers became a feature of later governments. A national poll in 2003 voted a British Jamaican, Mary Seacole, who nursed British soldiers during the Crimean War, 1854 to 1856, as the greatest Black Briton. Her story is now widely taught in primary schools. John Sentamu was enthroned as the first Black Archbishop of York in 2005. Meanwhile, by 2006, the RAF had increased its proportion of ethnic minority personnel to 2.2%, 0.4% identified as Black Caribbean. Local Black RAF veteran John Winston Clark flew in the Iraq War as a squadron leader and helped to organise training in Britain for British land forces deployed to Afghanistan between 2005 and 2008. In 2012, Black volunteers played Windrush migrants coming to Britain in 1948 during the spectacular Olympic opening ceremony in London, showing that their arrival was now accepted as a part of British history. However, resentment at recent migration into the UK from Eastern Europe fed into the divisive Brexit referendum of 2016, where the public voted by a narrow majority to leave the European Union. Conservative Home Secretary Theresa May announced a new hostile environment towards illegal migration. From 2013 onwards, many Windrush generation residents were treated unfairly as illegal immigrants because they could not prove their right to remain from before 1973. They could be told to leave at once. Some lost their jobs or homes as a result of benefit cuts, could no longer access the NHS, were placed in detention and were deported with no right of return. At least 83 people were wrongly deported. It meant that some in the Windrush generation questioned their British identity after decades of residence. In 2018, 81-year-old RAF veteran from Barbados, Desmond Garnes, who joined in 1960, said to an interviewer, "My time in this country and what I've done should be enough to justify my stay here." Only some of those eligible for compensation ever received any, and some had already died. A refreshing new take on a multicultural Britain seemed to be offered by the fairy tale wedding of Prince Harry to Afro-American actress Meghan Markle in 2018 at St George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. This was the first time that a person of colour had married into the British royal family. However, the couple left the UK in 2020 for a new life in California, after accusing parts of the British media and members of the royal family and royal household of racism towards Meghan. How would the monarchy and other British institutions such as the RAF come to terms with race relations in the 2020s?